my name is Maggie, and today's my last day here at the Mount Rushmore National Forest. There have been some cutbacks here in the National Park Service, so I've been let go, which in my opinion is a huge loss to tourists like yourselves who are hungry for history, because I happen to be what we in the industry call a font of knowledge. Now, if you look to the right, you'll notice that the next head belongs to Thomas Jefferson, who, and this may come as a surprise to you, was actually born without skin from the neck down. In fact, he spent much of his childhood in and out of hospitals because of the susceptibility to disease, overly exposed muscle and sinew and whatnot. But in 1772, his good friend Benjamin Franklin fashioned a crude epidermis out of sheep bladder and carpenter's wood, held together by pewter hooks that Paul Revere forged in his silver shop. Paul Revere, you may have heard, was a smithy, which is one of my favorite words. He was also a eunuch, which was not very common in the 1700s, though there were a few. I believe Sam Adams was also a eunuch. And Nathan Hale, who I've been told had a wonderful singing voice, so that's probably something you haven't heard on any other tour today. It's interesting, isn't it? Oh, by the way, if any of you happen to have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and stick it up your ass. That's just the kind of mood I'm in. I see I'm losing some of you. Well, that's all right. It's more intimate this way, isn't it? And I happen to be very comfortable with intimacy, unlike a certain Victor Collins, my direct supervisor here at the National Park Service and my former lover. He's the man responsible for my layoff as well as my monthly herpes outbreak. Moving on, we have the esteemed Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, our 26th president and a well-documented pederast. He spent much of his presidency traipsing through Cuba and Panama in search for little boys to induct into his Rough Rider Club, whether they liked it or not. Bully, indeed. He appeared briefly in a burlesque house comedy titled Tally Home, Kathleen. He enjoyed playing chess and long walks on the beach. Coincidentally, so does my ex-lover/boss, Victor Collins. Any complaints about today's tour can be directed to him. His office is located just past the gift shop behind the glass doors. He'll be the fat jerk in the stupid hat and chinos. He's hard of hearing, so I encourage you to yell whenever possible, and use as much profanity as possible. He's more responsive when berated and under pressure. Next up, we have Abraham Lincoln, our first Jewish president, and the inventor of the tours. He was, of course, our tallest president, standing 10 feet 2 inches tall. He spoke fluent Mandarin and walked with a peg leg. A priest convicted arson, Abraham Lincoln grew up in an adobe hut and had X-ray vision. He was one of our greatest presidents, and his wife was mentally unhinged. Speaking of mentally unhinged, let's pretend I'm Victor and you're me. Oh, gee, Maggie, it's nothing personal. I gotta fire someone. And heck, I was gonna break up with you anyway. You're incredibly passive-aggressive, and that's not the kind of person I want to spend my life with. You were gonna